Hey guys, what's up? Christian here, back at you with a brand new video. Now, one thing you're probably wondering is, where the heck did my eyebrows go? And the short answer to that question is, I haven't had any real eyebrows for the past 8 years. I've been living with a disorder called trichotillomania. I pull out my eyebrows when I get stressed. If you want to see and hear more about that video, link will be in the description, just like it has been for every single video I've uploaded, which people do not seem to read, because on my Foot Locker video on how I got fired, I got over 200 hate comments commenting about my eyebrows and talking about me. That video I think has like 120,000 views. Absolutely crazy. So if you're watching the Foot Locker series, make sure you check out the other parts in the series. I did how I got hired at Foot Locker and how I got fired at Foot Locker. But anyways, I'm not going to be doing my eyebrows anymore. I am just tired of wasting my time doing it every single morning. I'm a confident person. I can take on the day. If I get looks, so what? I have been getting bombarded with comments to make this video for the longest time. My experiences working at Foot Locker. We're finally here. Let's get into it. So working at Foot Locker is not just like any other retailer out there in the mall. The Foot Locker I worked at, Fairview Mall Foot Locker, it was definitely a high pressure, like a stressful environment, I want to say, working in. I worked at Aeropostale before working at Foot Locker. I worked there at the same time as well, and Aeropostale had a very laid back vibe, and so Foot Locker had quite the opposite vibe. Now, being a sales associate at Foot Locker, you are hit with a couple of roles, and that is 1, to sell shoes, 2, to hook up and add extra merchandise onto your sales, 3 is sort of like to clean the store, make sure it is up to par with like your standards for your store. That can be anything from folding t-shirts that customers leave laying around, to fixing up the sneakers that are on display to make sure that they are all looking good and they're all like properly stickered and everything like that. On top of that, if you are on a closing shift, you may get stuck with the duty of sweeping and mopping the floors. Not a fun task, but if whoever's manager at the time is playing some good music, it can feel like a breeze just mopping and sweeping, and it's not that big of a deal. Customer service is super important. It is basically why you're hired there, to give customer service, to give a memorable and positive experience so that customers come back to the store and are loyal to you, and you establish a sort of relationship with the customer. Pretty straightforward. That's cut and dry for like every retail job. Foot Locker takes so much pride in excellent customer service, so much in fact that you can leave reviews of the customer service on a website that they give you at the bottom of the receipt when you shop there for like a $10 coupon, and we take those like customer reviews pretty seriously. We will like have them up on the back wall to show all of the reviews that every single store had got reviews from. So you can see reviews from like your neighboring stores and stuff like that, and you can just get a general idea of how well other stores are doing compared to yours. One thing that sucked at working at the Foot Locker location that I did is that they only had one mirror for customers to look at their shoes when trying them on, which is the pain in the butt, especially when you end up with like a Great Wall of China like just blocking you from passing through customers. It's really hard, really ridiculous. I do not know why they don't have more mirrors in that Foot Locker location, but even the Champs in the same mall has several little mirrors throughout the store. So just a little tidbit, Fairview Foot Locker, add some more mirrors. So when it comes to selling shoes to a customer, the very first thing that we are taught at Foot Locker is to basically greet them and then sort of engage in a conversation with them, a friendly conversation, and ask them if they're looking for anything in particular, what size were they looking for, are they shopping for anybody, and usually you have a good idea of what they're looking for just by what shoes they're holding in their hands, if they pick anything up, or what they're looking at in general. If they're in the kids section, they're clearly looking for a kid's shoe, and if they don't have their kid with them, always urge to bring the kid with them, because when the kid is not working, or if the kid's not with the parent and the parent's trying to buy shoes, it just becomes a nightmare with exchanges and stuff because the parents can't get the right size. So after customers told me what they want, I then have to go into the back room to find out if we actually have the sizing for that sneaker. Now that is a big like mission in itself, especially when they give you multiple shoes. You have to go and track down. The stock room is huge, and it is organized by type of shoe. So you get like basketball shoes, then you get running shoes, then you have women's and kids and stuff like that. Sometimes it gets really dangerous because in the back room, the shelving is
really high.
So there's boxes, like mountains of boxes, and you have to climb these ladders. And climbing these ladders, you have to climb them like with like one hand sometimes. And so we're carrying the shoe boxes up and down, and sometimes when we're at the top, we'll have the shoe box in our hand, we turn and we'll drop the shoe box about 10 feet onto the floor. And you have to like master that technique properly, because if you don't make the perfect slap, like really loud sound when the shoe box hits the floor flat, and you end up hitting it on the corner instead, you're gonna damage the box super easy. So all the climbing of ladders and just running around, sometimes I worked up a pretty good sweat while working at Foot Locker, and my muscles, like I'm a skinny, scrawny guy, okay? I don't have that much muscles. And so climbing ladders all the time and running back and forth can become pretty strenuous on your body, especially if you're having like more than 5 shoes at once, which is a bad idea. If you're dealing with a customer at Foot Locker, try and narrow it down to 2 to 3 options at one time, and then work your way from that. Because if you try and give them 6 pairs at once, they're going to be kept waiting for like 10-15 minutes, depending on how many shoes or how hard it is to find a certain shoe. Now, some Foot Locker locations actually get this like little device, like it's about the size of a cell phone, and all they have to do is scan the barcode on the shoe, and it will tell them the inventory sizes for that select shoe in their inventory room. And we didn't have those when I worked at my Foot Locker. Some Foot Lockers had them, like the House of Hoops, like bigger locations had them. But now the Fairview Mall Foot Locker, they do have the scanner, so that does make life a lot easier for sales associates and makes it easier on the customer, because they don't have to sit around waiting for minutes and minutes and minutes. Now, there was a couple of things I hated while working at Foot Locker. One of them being customers with disgustingly smelly feet. Like sometimes I want to puke when I smelled those feet. Sometimes you could even see like the odor, like the gases when they slipped off their shoe. You could see all the fumes just pop out, and you're like,
oh, why me?
Another thing I hated while working at Foot Locker was customers who could not make up their mind on what size they wanted. They were either a size 8 all the way up to a 13. Just their foot magically grew. One thing that I hated was customers who would try on 4 to 5 pairs of sneakers and leave the store empty-handed. They would buy nothing. Now, if you're the type of customer to go in the store and try on sneakers, that's totally normal. But if you have no intent on buying sneakers that day and you want to try on a bunch of shoes, do not, please do not go in during peak hours on the weekend or something like that. Go in when it's slow, or explain to the sales associate, hey man, I don't think I'll be buying any shoes today. I'd just like to try some on. One time there was this girl and her mom shopping, and they were looking at 2 shoes on display. They were the exact same shoe. Like bam, this shoe was on display. Why did I say bam? So they had this shoe on display, and then they had this shoe on display. And what the girl did was she picked up the shoe off the wall, she looked at the shoe, and was like,
yeah, I'm not a fan of it, yuck.
And then her mom was like,
oh, what about the other one? What about the other one?
The exact same shoe, just on a different rack. And the girl who said yuck to this shoe was like,
oh, that's much better than the other one.
Bruh. Now you're probably wondering what the employee discount is at Foot Locker, and you get 30% off of sneakers at Foot Locker and Champs locations. Yes, Champs is owned by Foot Locker. And you also get 50% off sneakers during employee appreciation periods, which is like a 3-day span, and those happen about 3 to 4 times a year. So that's when you get to stock up on those staples for 50 off. Another thing you're probably curious about is holding pairs. Yes, there are benefits at working at Foot Locker besides the employee discount. Employees get to hold 20% of the stock for a release. If there's any more than that, now it goes into like an employee raffle, so you have to get lucky enough to buy the shoe if you're an employee. But other than that, once they hit 20%, you'd have to line up just like any other customer out there. Now, some stores are sketchy. I know some stores that they're messed up, and they'll screw over the everyday customer. But at the Fairview location, they were always good about it. They always upheld the 20% rule, which was really legit. Now, when it comes to payment, you either get paid minimum wage for your state or your province that you're in, and on top of that, you can either earn minimum wage or you can earn 5% commission. And what 5% commission means is that you're not earning minimum wage plus 5% commission, which was what I thought was the case when I first started working at Foot Locker. So when I got my first paycheck, I was like,
yo, I made $3,000. This is gonna be lit.
And then when I got my paycheck, it was like $400. Now what 5% commission actually means is that you had a shift of 4 hours. That means your goal for those 4 hours was to sell $250 per hour. So you have to make $1,000 in sales for your 4-hour shift. If you make $2,000 in sales during that 4-hour shift, you're going to be getting 5% of that $2,000 instead of getting minimum wage. So sometimes you'd have a bomb ass week, like a really good weekend, for example, and you would earn commission that week. But let's say you get some slow shifts or some like opening shifts where there's not too many sales. That's where the minimum wage comes back and becomes like your default wage for earning money. So if you hustle hard and you get good hours, you're gonna make a lot of bank. And during holiday seasons and back to school, it would not be uncommon for like some associates to make a couple G's during those weeks. Trust me, man, trust me. Now the great thing about working at Foot Locker is that it's a store that pretty much anyone can go into and shop at. And so I actually sold sneakers to my elementary school's teacher, Miss Elliott, who is like she's my favorite elementary school teacher of all time. And I also sold shoes to a celebrity. I forget his name because I'm not a huge fan of the show, but I'm sure you guys probably know Degrassi, the show that Drake was on. Well, I sold shoes to this dude. I'm throwing a picture of him on the screen right now. I sold shoes to him, which was pretty cool. I've also helped out ex-girlfriends while shopping at Foot Locker, which is pretty weird too. Overall, my experience at working at Foot Locker was fantastic. I loved my job while working there, and I love sneakers. And so working in a place where you sell sneakers all day long is honestly the dream retail part-time job. Now, if I could go back there and work there again, absolutely I would. Also, I do not resell like new Air Jordan releases for over retail, so chill with that. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you guys want part 4, how to get hired at Foot Locker, let's see if this video can get to 800 likes. I know you guys can do it. You guys got the other one to like 2,000 plus, and it's just bananas. Thank you guys for the support. The channel has been growing incredibly in the last 3 to 4 weeks. I've been putting in the work. The results are showing. More viewers are coming. It's really exciting stuff. So if you like my videos, please share them with a friend. Share them on your Facebook wall, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace. Of course, your MySpace. And your Friendster too. Anyways, that's it for this video, and if anyone wants to leave any hate comments in the comments down below, I'm just gonna delete them. I'm not even going to reply to them this time because I address the eyebrow thing at the start of the video, which I wish I did during the Foot Locker video, but oh well. But that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!